And again, sometimes the luck of the draw helps you out. But also, it builds from game to game. As you get closer to the end, closer to the top, closer to the championship, the intensity level rises. Players know that they can do it.
I remember some of your players from that team because I was on a bus with a few of them on ODP trips, and you had several of those boys in that team who were kind of little stinkers.
Correct.
How'd you deal with those kids?
Very disciplined. I had demanded a lot of stuff, you know, but I just kept on emphasizing the technical aspect of the game,
Yeah, and at that time you were in charge of both the boys and girls sides.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how, you know, did you spend a lot of time then at Dakota Gold bringing the coaches in and working with them?
Yes, that was one of my duties, was to recruit coaches and coaching education. And what I used to do was, you know, on Wednesday nights they had an adult league, and I used to go and walk around the park with the adults and just ask and approach parents, approach the players and say, do you want to coach? Are you interested in coaching? And that's how we build our coaching staff. But we had a good coaching education. We kind of established a curriculum, what was expected from age group, from year to year, what I wanted from the players.
Yeah, and you know, some of the groundwork you laid there, I know still, especially in my high school program, I still use all of your game analysis, things that you made and posted on the internet for your coaches. I use all of that stuff because I think it's the best I've seen.
Thank you. Yeah, and and that's also another thing that I was able and I had the freedom to do, is to input, and the coaches were very receptive to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the information I was able to impart to them, and also to the players. I mean, the players, it's not, but the players have to want to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And during that time too, then you had, I know at least one of your children played soccer. I don't really know much about your family, but maybe
Correct.
you could tell us a little bit about
I have a blended family. I have my two biological children. My two boys played soccer. One of them played for a team called Pepsi Cola, and the other player played for one of the Dakota Gold team called the Sabres, and they both played high school. Okay, the last years of high school, Roosevelt High School. And then my oldest son decided to play college, and he played at USF, a goalkeeper. At USF, he was a very, very good goalkeeper. But, you know, as you know, our children sometimes, education is really not what they want to do. Yeah. So they decided to do something else. But both of my children are still playing now, in the adult league.
And you have one coaching too, don't you?
And I have, well, unfortunately, yes, I did at one time, but his work duties right now, do not allow him to coach as much as he wants. You know, he coached for Dakota Gold, he coached the team, and he went to regionals twice, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So besides that class team, I'm sure you've had a lot of other good teams in Dakota Gold.
Oh, very much so.
You probably remember a few of the very special ones.
Yeah, I know the one I remember is the first year I was here was a team called Dynasty, and we went to the semifinals of regionals in Rockford in 1994, and we lost to Ohio North very marginally. And that was, again, the culture has changed so much in the past 10 years, even I said 5 years, where unfortunately, whether it's economics, whether it's talent, whether it's wanting to do so, but less and less of our team are looking for that big challenge. And the teams like Dynasty, Sabres, Spectra, you know, TJ Rolfing played on Spectra, Spencer Hines, Kevin Henson, who are household names in Sioux Falls. Those players went above and beyond the call of duty. The parents went above and beyond the call of duty. They would go to Colorado, they'd go to Cocoa Beach, Florida. I mean, they would go and travel all over the United States to find the competition and to be exposed to the competition. Somehow, all of this has tapered down a little bit. And I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to figure out, we're all trying to figure out, what has changed so much in those 5 years? Why is it that players don't, you know, okay, I'm generalizing players, but some players really want it, but some of the other players don't want it as much. Yeah. And I believe it kind of keep the ones who want to not being able to be exposed properly.
So probably, talking about that and thinking about that, probably when you take a look at all the merging that's going on in Sioux Falls soccer and getting all the cooperation, you're probably going to be able to end up with teams like that again.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think that merger that's going to be taking place, it's the best thing that could happen for the soccer community in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got talent, and I think that those teams are going to become much more competitive at regionals that we've had in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is going to bring up the level of soccer in South Dakota.
Yep.
Definitely.
So speaking of bringing up the level of soccer in South Dakota, you're coaching several teams now.
Correct.
And ODP.
Correct.
So why don't you kind of fill us in on what kind of teams you got going today?
I have a team of U15 boys, a team of U17 girls that I started with at the beginning since they were U11. I let them go for 2 years, and I just got them back this year, the U17 girls. This is their prime time college showcase age group, they're juniors. The U15 boys, I've had them since they were U11, and I've had them for 3 years now. Dakota Gold was kind enough to let me have them for 3 years. Very good team, unchallenged this year, very sturdy, and again, the players want more, the players want it.
I remember that team because they beat my team a couple years ago.
Yeah, and then last year we played, and unfortunately, you know, they did well last year as well. So this year we were unchallenged. But again, you know, it's the fluctuation of players wanting to have it and wanting to do, you know, not wanting to have it. And I'm very happy the ODP has started over again. At the beginning we had ODP, it was great. Went to camp, Region 2 camp for 3 years, and then kind of let it go for 2 years. Obviously, I think that the players did not want anymore, or the parents didn't want anymore. There was a bit of a misperception, but I'm so pleased that it's starting. The numbers are really growing, and it's going to be a great experience.
I remember several years ago when I first got involved, you know, it took a while, but we had busload after busload of teams going to region camps. And
I remember traveling with you, and we stopped in Columbia for training sessions.
Yes.
Yeah, going to DeKalb, Illinois.
It was almost like we were running contraband or something.
Exactly.
No soccer on the book, but we were out there. We were out there anyway. We
didn't what's supposed to be, but we were there no matter what. Yeah. So.
Well, those are some great trips, and I hope we get to take some again in the future. So tell me about this 95 boys team. What do you see in that?
Extremely talented group. Extremely talented. They're still obviously very young. They need to work on the tactical aspect of the game. They need to understand that they are not what I call cross-country runners. They are not track stars. They need to learn that they are soccer players. And they need to learn that the ball is a biggest part now of the game than they used to.
Yeah.
So what I expect from them is to play at feet, to control the ball, speed of play has become such a big part of the game.
Yeah.
And we don't have the luxury anymore to just dibble-dabble with the ball. Somebody's going to come and just hit you, win the ball, and then...
And you know, I heard you today too, and one thing I really appreciated, especially if you have players who can do it, but you know, today's game, if you have 10 guys in the field, they all have to be involved in the game. It's not like it used to be just hanging 4 guys in the back and hoping that did it.
That's right. Now, you know, in the past is obviously you had a big athlete, you've got the big boot in the back, you know, bypass the midfield and hope that the ball lands at the feet of the striker to go to goal. Not anymore. Now, the tendency is everybody gets behind the ball as quickly as possible. You lose the ball, you become a defender. You win the ball, you become an attacker. Yeah. Whether you're fullback or right back or left back. And this is kind of what I'm trying to do with this 95, is to make them believe that because you are a fullback does not mean that you are not allowed to score. That you are a fullback, there is no restraining line at a half line that says if you go past the half line, it'll be an electrical fence that's going to strike you.
Yeah.
So all of our teams, all of our players need to learn how to be more compact than what we are.